Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm Nika and I make book related videos, and in today's video I will be talking about my choices, my books for the mid-year book freakout tag. Now the reason why my video for this tag is coming out this late is because I wanted June to be officially over so that I can say that my mid-year reading is done. So today is the 1st of July and I'm really excited to be filming this video, and I hope you enjoy watching this video as well. And yeah, I hope that you've read all the books that I'll be sharing today, and if you haven't, I hope you will be intrigued enough to pick them up. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So I'll be putting down all the questions in the description box below, so if you haven't done this tag for yourself, you can definitely use the questions which I'll be, like I said, putting down below. And yeah, so let's see what the first question is. I actually have a special spread made for this tag on my in my bullet journal, and I'll probably post a picture of it anyway. So the first question is, favorite book you've read so far in 2020? And the favorite book that I've read so far, this is actually a review copy, and it is Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jodorowsky. Now this is a gay romance, and I think it's rather literary fiction, and I really enjoyed it. It's set in Poland during the communist leadership in the 1980s, especially when things are changing, the political scenario is changing, and we follow these two people, Ludwig and Janus, and we see how their political ideologies, how their way of life, how their way of thinking, and everything really affects the relationship, their budding relationship, their romance. And if you've read Call Me By Your Name, I think this is the next book you can definitely pick up if you are in the mood for something like Call Me By Your Name. If you're looking up on the internet for like books like Call Me By Your Name, I think this would be a great one, because the romance is just really beautiful, the writing is stunning, and obviously if you get the finished copy it will be better, I suppose. So yeah, definitely check out this book. I really loved it. I think this was the first 5-star read of 2020 for me, in fact, so it's been going great so far. And here is the finished copy, which I really like, and I might go and buy a finished copy of this book after everything's over, after Amazon starts delivering to my home again. So yeah. So the second question is the favorite sequel you've read so far, and that has to be The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. Now I actually read this book on as an ebook on Kindle and also as an audiobook, so I'll link the picture, I'll put the picture here. Yeah, so it is the sequel to Brain Freeze. Okay, it's a sequel to, my god, how can I forget, because it was amazing, truly devious. So yeah, now these two books, actually the whole trilogy rather, I read it in June and I really loved it. It's dark academia, it's mystery, it's crime, it's also YA, which is amazing, and I really love it, and it's set in this elite boarding school, which I think is amazing, at the Ellingham Academy. The plot is superb, and the second book is really revealing, so you might definitely check it out if you're looking for something YA, but perhaps something which is not as intense as, say, literary fiction novels like The Secret History, in fact. Then I think this is definitely one you can start with, because it's just amazing. I really enjoyed this trilogy, and I actually read it back to back, like continuous, within a week. I finished this trilogy within a week, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's really worth it. So you should definitely pick it up and see how it goes for you. Alright, so moving on, the third question is new release you haven't read but want to, and my choice for this one is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and it's amazing. Alright, so firstly, let's talk about the things that really drew me to it. First off, the cover, which is amazing. Second off, the entire premise, because it's like star-crossed lovers, the guy has to kill the girl who is the chosen heir, I think the heir or the princess, and it's really amazing. It also has diversity, because it's an African fantasy rather, and yeah, all these things were enough to really attract me to it, and I've been seeing some amazing reviews that were like rave reviews, so really excited to read it. And if you have, please tell me how you felt about it, because I think this might be like one of the very few books which I'll obviously be purchasing this month, because I've been limiting the books, like physical books which I've been buying. As you can already see, like a lot of the books which I'll be sharing with you all today, many of them I've read as an ebook, so kudos to that. Anyway, yeah, so I'll be buying this book as a Kindle very, very soon, and if you've already read it, please do tell me what you feel about it, because it's really, really high up on my TBR. So that's it for the third question. Moving on, next up we have most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I'm so excited for this one because I already own an ALC, which is like an ARC for audiobooks. So yeah, I already have an ARC for it, so I'm really, really excited. And my answer for this question is The Only Good Indians, which will actually be releasing on July 14th. So if you haven't heard of it, I'm sure you have, because it's been doing the rounds recently. It's really, really good. I mean, it's horror, and I'm a person who doesn't read a lot of horror, so I'm really excited to read it. And secondly, it's a lot about diversity, American Indians. So obviously it's not a subject that I'm very well familiar with, American Indians, and so yeah, I think it's a topic which I should be knowing more about. And the fact that the author has brought in this fantasy horror element, I think that is just a way to talk about some serious issues, maybe racial issues and all of that. So really excited to read that book. And yeah, I'm not sure how reading it as an audiobook might affect me, if I could get very, very spooked. I mean, I don't know, I haven't read a lot of horror, so I don't know if I'm the kind of person who gets spooked by reading horror novels, but let's see. I'll definitely keep you posted on this one. The next question, unfortunately I don't have an answer for this one. It is the biggest disappointment. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for this one, because many of the books which I've read this year, they're either okay, or books that I didn't have a lot of expectation or high expectations from. So I wouldn't say that I read any book or came across any book which really, really made me feel disappointed with it. So I'll pass on this answer. The next question is the biggest surprise, and I have an amazing book for this one. It is Agnes at the End of the World, another 5-star book, another 5-star read for me from this year. I don't have the actual copy now because I've given it to Gayatri from Perfectionist. You should also check out her review because she absolutely loved this book as well. And yeah, it's a really different kind of book, because there is a pandemic, really relatable, right? And there is also a cult. Agnes, who is the protagonist of the novel, she is a part of a cult which lives really like off the grid. They don't believe in having telephones or even cars or anything like that. So it's really different, and she is struggling with that, because she has to either give up all of these modern amenities, but if she's a part of if she wants to be a part of the cult forever. And the thing is, her brother is sick, and so obviously she needs modern medicine for him. And so therein she is in this sort of rebellion within herself, within her ideologies, because despite it all, she has been born and brought up in that community, so of course it has affected her, but the way she overcomes it and everything is good. And it also teaches you a lot about faith, and it really touched me. Honestly, I've never been a very, very religious person per se all my life, but this book, it taught me a lot about faith, and it was just really, really emotional for me, and I really loved it. I think you should definitely pick it up because it left a profound influence on me, and I'll definitely be picking up this book very, very soon. So if you haven't yet, do pick it up, and then we can perhaps do a buddy read. Right, so the next question is favorite new author, and I'm actually going to cheat on this question because this author is not really new to me. Rather, the book that I picked up is a new book from her, and it is Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Now firstly, it's humongous, yes, but it was an amazing read, and this is a review copy that was sent to me from Bloomsbury, India, and I'm so very grateful to them because they know that I am such a sucker for Sarah J. Maas and chef's kiss, because it was just amazing. So basically, I've read this book after a long time because the last books that I've read from Sarah J. Maas with the ending of the Throne of Glass series, and then a couple of rereads I did for some of the books, even A Coat of Thorns and Roses series. So it was really great to delve into her work again, delve into her writing, especially in a different setting, in a different world. And I know that this in fact is not just one book, it will be a series, so I'm really excited. But coming back to the question, yes, Sarah J. Maas is my, again, favorite author with whom I've been reacquainted, rather, not new. So I'll probably be doing a reread for maybe the ACOTAR series or even the Throne of Glass series. I've got the books up there. And yeah, I am really excited. She just, this book just reminded me why I love her so much. The relationships she writes, the friendships she writes, especially among girls, the female ideological kinships the female characters find within each other. Amazing. So yeah, this really reminded me why I love Sarah J. Maas's works so much. Of course, I understand there's a lot of problems with her writing, with her lack of representation, yes, but so far all the books that I've already read from her are ones that I really did enjoy. So yeah, I might be doing a reread soon for the Throne of Glass series or Echoed, I'm not yet sure, but a reread is definitely up on the list. Alright, so the next question is your newest fictional crush, and for me it definitely is Jason from the Happy Ever After playlist. Now this book, I actually read it as an audiobook thanks to Libro.fm. It was so good. I think this is the first adult romance I've read in a long time, which is really nice, and I think it was also a 5-star read for me as well this year. I really enjoyed it. The romance was just off the charts and it was so sweet. And this whole story is basically, there's this girl and Sloane, and she one day suddenly encounters a dog which gets into her car, brings her a lot of trouble because of driving problems with the traffic police and everything. But she looks after this dog for a long time. His name is Tucker and he is a gem. I'm very much afraid of dogs, but the relationship she has with Tucker really made me feel like I really want a pet of my own, a sweet dog maybe. But anyway, moving on, it turns out that Tucker is actually the pet dog of this upcoming famous singing star, and his name is Jason. And Sloane and Jason, they first start texting each other. They hit it off right away. Obviously their chemistry is just off the charts, and the way their relationship develops, it's really mature, it's really understanding. They're very considerate of each other, and I think it's very ideal the way their relationship grows, and I really loved it. It was so amazing, so sweet, and what can I say, Jason is a guy you undoubtedly will fall in love with if you read the book. So yeah, do read the book. It's really good. Then the next question is your newest favorite character, and my newest favorite character is Bryce Quinlan from, again, this book. I really enjoyed this book, like I said again, and Bryce's character is very she's a spitfire, really, and her relationship with Danica and everything, basically her work ethic and everything, it's just amazing. The way she is willing to work hard despite all the struggles she faces, the way she has to hide certain things from society and everything, her relationships with other characters in the book, okay, I was about to give away a spoiler, but her and then with the male protagonist as well, it's just amazing. You should definitely read this book again if you haven't read it, because I'm sure you'll fall in love with her. She's sassy, she's very spunky as well, so I really loved her character, and I would really love to have her as a friend actually. Alright, so the next question is, okay, book that made you cry. Now this book I actually read from NetGalley, and it is The Trouble We Keep. Now it's sort of a historical romance, and it's amazing, it's beautiful. There's this girl who has, she was kind of living as a prostitute, but then she runs away in order to find her brother, but then she finds love with this amazing bar owner, and it's so good, and it's very emotional, really. I'm not saying that it made me cry in a very negative sense, but it was just so emotional, so touching, all the problems that she faced and everything. It was an amazing book. Once again, you should definitely read it. I think I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, I think, because it was really good, and I hope you will enjoy it too if you pick it up. So the next question is a book that made you happy, and for this question my answer is actually a poetry book, and it is Aphrodite Made Me Do It. It's a book about love, but it's not just about, you know, romantic love. It's also about learning to love yourself despite all the issues that come up and everything. um Now, I'm not someone who gives 5 out of 5 stars to poetry books, but Aphrodite Made Me Do It was just so beautiful. I read it on script and it is just the best thing ever. This book, there are also illustrations, the poetry. It's very touching, and you know, it's very contemporary and modern, and not in the sense that not in a sense like of okay, disclaimer, if you really like Rupi Kaur, that's up to you. I mean, I actually do like Rupi Kaur, but Aphrodite Made Me Do It, the book's poetry is not like say Milk and Honey or The Sun and Her Flowers. It's very different. There is actual, you know, poetic sense in there, poetic tunes in there. So I really enjoyed it. You should definitely pick it up, because yeah, a 5 out of 5 star for me. All right, so the next question is most beautiful book you've bought or received so far. And it's a book that I've actually bought for myself, and it is this beautiful cover, this beautiful book, A Fort of Nine Towers by Kais Akbar Omar. This is a beautiful copy, as you can see. I really adore it, and I honestly don't know much about it, except that, you know, I've read somewhere that if you really like Khalid Hosseini's work, you should definitely read this one as well. And Khalid Hosseini, in fact, has blurbed it as poetic, powerful, and unforgettable. And it's set up in oh, okay, this I did not know. This is the first true life memoir of growing up in Afghanistan. So I think this is going to be a really emotional read for me, because the story itself, you know, it's really emotional. I mean, I've read A Thousand Splendid Suns. It's also set in Afghanistan, and with the Taliban and everything, it deals a lot with, of course, the, how do I say it, the female dimension of everything. But it was a really emotional read and I really enjoyed it. So this one is again another book which is set in Afghanistan, and I think I'm going to really enjoy reading this as well. Alright, so the next question, we have reached the last question actually. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now, I've actually got 4 such books which are really on top of my TBR, and the first book which I have to share is Ninth House. It's very reflective, very holographic. So anyway, I'm sure you've already heard a lot about Ninth House. It's an adult fantasy book by Leigh Bardugo. It's also dark academia, so heads up on that. And it's amazing. We follow this protagonist, Alex Stern. She's a part of the house Leith, I think. Basically, her task is to make sure that all the secret societies at Yale are, you know, not abusing the power they have. So it's like her job is to maintain order among all the other secret societies. So it's really good. I've heard a lot about it, and I actually started reading a few pages, as you can see all the tags here, but I was not in the mood for adult fantasy at the time, and so obviously I sort of like thought I would read it later. But obviously I'll be doing a reread very soon, and I've got high hopes for it. Yeah. And then the next book I really want to read is Ian McEwan's Atonement. I've already watched the movie. It's a beautiful movie. If you haven't watched the movie, I mean, what are you doing? You definitely should watch the movie and obviously read the book, I guess. But I'm actually kind of delaying it because the movie wrecked me, so I'm not sure what the book is going to do to me. So yeah, I've got high expectations for it, very high expectations for it. It's set just prior to the Second World War. Yeah, the Second World War. And yeah, really excited. It's a romance novel, obviously, but it's also literary fiction. So literary fiction is my newfound love these days, this year rather. Really enjoying all the novels I've been reading from that genre. So on my list. Then there are 2 more books I really want to read this year, within the next couple of months at least. And the first one is The Secret History. Now, I actually have the audiobook for Secret History, but I really want to also read it, and I haven't been able to buy a book as of yet, because, you know, I always thought that I would get an actual hard copy of it, but then everything has been happening and I haven't had the time to actually buy one. So I'll just probably, without further ado, I'll just buy a Kindle copy of it, and then I'll read it and also listen to it simultaneously, because I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I really want to read the book because I really want to underline some lines because they were just so good. So that's the plan. And lastly, I also want to read Find Me, which is a sequel to Call Me By Your Name by Andre Asman. So it's been, I think, 2 years that I've read Call Me By Your Name. Yeah, so I want to reread it, and then I'll probably pick up Find Me. So that's it, guys. We've reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, don't forget to give a like and a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you like this video. And I'll obviously be bringing up more book related content. The next video will probably be my reading rush TBR, so stay tuned for that. It will also be my second year doing the reading rush, and I'm so very excited because obviously who wouldn't be. Last year I was very successful at it. I read 7 books in 1 week. So again, this year I've got more high expectations. I'm thinking of actually reading more than 7 books this year, but who knows. So yeah, I hope you like this video once again, and stay tuned, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.